coming into Wendell. Middlesex, Sims, Kenly, Clanton, you're all in this tornado warning. We talked a little bit before about that margin of error. You'll always notice that tornado warnings go outward slightly because these storms can wobble. And right now, it seems to be wobbling a little bit to the north, but it still could come back south. So Clanton and Kenly, treat this as an active tornado warning still for you. Mother Nature doesn't always move in a straight linear line. This warning's going to go until 6 o'clock. We're just outside the Raleigh area. You can still see we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is up. It has been cut back a little bit. It is on your screen there in yellow. And a severe thunderstorm warning is issued when there is the threat of damaging wind or damaging hail. And remember, folks, wind is wind. So whether it is in a funnel or it is straight line, it could be damaging. And you should be taking precautions, meaning move inside, move away from windows and doors until the storm has passed. Now, there is a tool called National Weather Service Chat that allows us to get information from the Weather Service. It's been under a lot of strain the last few days because of these continuous weather outbreaks, and I feel like it's not giving me all the information it should be giving me right now. But luckily, you can see on your screen where this tornado warning is there in red, and we are continuing to get radar imagery coming on in, and we can definitely work with that. If you are in a safe place to do so, you can always relay storm reports to the National Weather Service on Twitter. Hashtag NCWX is what they will be watching. And as you might suspect, this particular tornado warning is under the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service in Raleigh, if you want to tag them specifically. We are in day one of a weekend severe weather outbreak here in the Carolinas. You can see right now coming up on your screen briefly, these are the Storm Prediction Center outlooks, showing us a slight risk in yellow across much of North Carolina and some of upstate South Carolina. That's a tier 2 out of 5. Marginal risk in green, MRGL, is a tier 1 out of 5. That's for today, folks. Here is for tomorrow. You can see also a slight risk across much of North Carolina, upstate South Carolina, now extending down to the Columbia area, and enhanced risk, a tier 3 out of 5. Richmond, Virginia, moving down into North Carolina, where 85 and 95 come together. So timing is going to be very similar to today. You're going to need to say weather aware in these late afternoon hours as another line of storms rolls on through. We had one on Thursday, and we had one on the Thursday before that. Welcome to spring. Here's a look right now at the big picture. All those counties in pink, those are severe thunderstorm watches, if I am not mistaken. Yes, they are. You can see a couple of these particular thunderstorms are in a yellow-orange. That is for severe thunderstorm warnings. We have just the one tornado warning that is on your screen right now. And this particular cell definitely is hanging out on the north side of the box, folks. Closer to Highway 64. So that's going to put it more in line with Middlesex, Bailey. Again, Wilson. You're the next population center. Significant population center as this moves away from Raleigh. You're not in the tornado warning right now. Be on standby. Especially if you're on the northern side of that with an elm there. If you have loved ones or friends in this area, give them a call. Let them know what's going on so they have time to prepare. Here's a look at radar scope again. You can see how close we are to this right here, this little black circle. That's the actual radar. And so it's beaming out, trying to take a picture 500 feet to 1,000 feet above the ground. Now, we can use a couple other products. We'll try to get an idea what else might be going on here. You can see down here in the lower left, these are all the same location, folks, in each 4 boxes, just different imagery. It's like a CAT scan versus an X-ray. We do have a hail core here, north of Knightdale. But it's this right in here in the top left box that we're worried about. Okay, new picture coming on in. You saw it update there. Again, we're watching that little notch where the potential for some rotation would be. And that's why we like these two guys the best. Anna, thanks for watching on YouTube here. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in now as we continue this tornado warning for the next 27 minutes for Nash, Wake, Wilson, and Johnston counties in North Carolina. Just a few minutes ago, the National Weather Service was continuing to monitor this severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Knightdale, 15 miles east of Raleigh, moving east at 35 miles an hour. The threat here would be a tornado and quarter-size hail. We were just looking at that hail. This will be in Wendell around 5:30, which is now. Bailey at 5:45, and Wilson, 6:05 is your time. Anna is asking if Knightdale is good. Anna, Knightdale City Center is probably right on the fringe of good. I don't know exactly where in the city you are or how far out that zip code goes. That hail core is just to the north of you. I would say give it another minute. You can start making your way out from your tornado safe place, but I wouldn't leave your structure just yet, and here's why. Take a look at all that lightning that is still trailing back behind this in Raleigh. Because remember, lightning doesn't have to be associated with rain. Lightning can be 15, 20 miles away from where the actual rain is, and so I wouldn't be presuming resuming any outdoor activities just yet in Knightdale. And I wouldn't let your guard down all too much. You still got another line of thunderstorms moving out of Durham and Pittsburgh, but the actual potential tornado, yes, is exiting Knightdale. It is coming right now into Wendell. It would be somewhere in here. And we got another radar scan. You can see some of these imagery updating with us in real time. Again, showing us that it is exiting Knightdale. Bottom left picture is hail. Top left picture is rain intensity. Top right picture is wind. Bottom right is correlation coefficient. It would show us potentially any debris that might be in the air. Sheila, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook for severe weather coverage from the Carolina Weather Group. This purple you're seeing in the top right box is missing data. And it's just, you know, you hear us complain when we're too far from radar, and you hear us complain when we're too close to radar. There's a sweet spot. We're not quite in it. Okay, I've switched to a different radar source. This one's at the airport. I just wanted to try to see some of the winds here. 50 miles an hour coming through Wendell. Just coming out of there now. Decent sized hail as well, too. Wouldn't be surprised at least penny sized hail associated with this. The terminal Doppler radar up here at the airport is good for some things. Not everything. And so we're going to largely stick with the main radar closer to Clanton. Clayton? Clayton. We also use a tool called National Weather Service Chat. I'm not permitted to put it on the screen, but it is where we get some back channel information and some conversation between Skywarn spawners, the National Weather Service, broadcast meteorologists. But I got to tell you, I think that system is not having a good day. I feel like I'm missing some information in it. I'm not seeing everything I should be seeing. I'm going to also keep an eye on Twitter. Folks who maybe will be using the hashtag NCWX to relay storm reports. That's how you can let the weather service know what's going on. Then, of course, we also keep an eye on it, too. I mean, here's the silver lining. We need to treat this like an active tornado on the ground until somebody tells us otherwise. But for a populated area like this, where news would come quickly about damage or a funnel cloud, not seeing that right now. That's good. That's good, but let's treat it like the real thing until somebody tells us otherwise. I wouldn't be surprised, folks, if this tornado warning gets updated. This particular thunderstorm, as we've been talking about, is really trying to push the boundary here. And so, hey, Rocky Mount, heads up. Because this guy is trying to go this way. Let's go single panel. Nice and big. Just put this into motion for you. And you can see this guy right on in here comes south of Chapel Hill, right over the little dot for Raleigh, right? Then he kind of starts to spin right up on in here. Okay, that does feel like more or less of a straight line. However, when you look at the last few frames, I'm gonna manually, I just kind of feel, I feel like he's slightly edging north. It's a little less clear maybe with reflectivity than it was with the hail core. But again, we've got a margin of error here. It's going to go something like this. It's going to be coming into Middlesex here in the next few minutes. So on the right-hand side, it's where the green and the red commingle, where the winds are moving both towards and away the radar sight in close proximity to each other. So this potential tornado right up in here. Wendell, hang tight a couple more minutes. Middlesex, you're imminently going to be in this tornadic potential. And so you want to be in your safe place. Lily watching on YouTube right now, sharing, of course, that she's scared and concerned. You know, that is a safe feeling, Lily. That is what keeps us safe. The trick is to not let it freeze you up and use it to push you to get to a safe place, a sturdy structure, lowest level of a sturdy structure, and most interior room. As many walls between you and the outside world as possible. If you are in one of these locations right now, Middlesex, you should be there already. Bailey, you're next. But again, Wilson to Rocky Mount. Be on standby here. Sharpsburg, Elm City. Grab that helmet. Put on those pants. Put on those shoes. Know where you're going to go. For me, it's a closet that's under the stairs. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of junk in that closet that if I don't get it out of there ahead of time, I got a lot of digging to do. And so maybe make room if you have a similar situation. Brian is asking right now if Knightdale is good. Knightdale is good for now, Brian. The potential tornado has moved out of Knightdale. The rotation right now is coming into your neighbors near Middlesex. You still have lots of lightning and some more thunderstorms moving in behind it, so don't go, for a bike ride or anything, but you can come out of your tornado safe place, certainly. Good question. You can see now, bottom left-hand side is the hail product. That's the one where I feel like just watching that move over the last few frames, it's really trying to edge towards the boundary of the tornado warning. The hail and tornado warning themselves don't correlate, but I was just trying to watch where this potential storm is moving. It's really this box over here on the right-hand side. The yellow, the green and the red. That's where we're watching for the winds to be commingling together. Left-hand side is the rain intensity. It's probably what you see most often when you're thinking about radar. And it does help us because on that product, sorry, I thought I had my telestrator on. On that product, it's this little notch, this little space where there's the potential for a little inflow boundary It's where the rain acts a little bit differently because of the winds. We do have a new storm report that's coming in from the National Weather Service office in Raleigh. Not for this area, for Randolph County. Hail the size of a quarter, 1-inch size, occurred at about 4:30 there, near Ashboro. And, of course, that's what prompted a lot of the severe thunderstorm warnings earlier. Now, in terms of other things that are happening, so we don't get our tunnel vision on the one tornado warning, we've got some severe thunderstorm warnings that are on the verge of expiring. And I believe at 5:45, they are set to expire. So we'll find out what the Weather Service plans to do with those in particular. But again, a severe thunderstorm warning is issued for 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds or quarter-size hail. That means quarter like the coin, 1-inch size. And, you know, you're still seeing, if you look in that bottom left-hand quadrant, still seeing some hail with these storms. So we'll find out exactly what the Weather Service intends to do. But, of course, we always are first looking at the tornado warnings. Now, we did just get an update. Knightdale, you can see that you're in the clear. You're no longer in the polygon. And this will take a moment to get readjusted to because the edge of the polygon has moved now to the east. So Wendell is still in it. Knightdale is clearing out. Also means we have some new text from the Weather Service. Let's all read that, shall we? Oh, we got a new warning there for thunderstorm. But let's start with the new tornado warning. The National Weather Service is continuing to track a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. I'm going to butcher this, guys. Zubulin. It's also 18 miles north of Smithfield, moving east at 40 miles an hour. I will find out tonight how to pronounce that. My apologies. If you live in that area, I think you know what it is I'm trying to butcher. This will be in Bailey at 5:50. This will be in Wilson at 6:10. Other areas, Kenley, Emit, Wendell. I think that says Buckhorn, Reserve, and Middlesex. Remind me to put this on a bigger monitor next time. It's hard to read. Now, that tornado warning, which goes until 6 o'clock, is for this guy right up on in here. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado means that we can see the rotation on radar. Doesn't mean that anything is confirmed on the ground, but let's treat it as it is until they tell us otherwise. It never hurts to be safe, y'all. Now, we did just get to the south of there a new severe thunderstorm warning that I think answers the questions about what they're doing down towards Whispering Pines and Fort Bragg. It's big. This guy is, oh boy, 75 miles wide. Meaning everybody up on in here, Fayetteville, I'm just going to go ahead and circle you, has a threat of seeing damaging winds. It's the yellow polygon. It goes for 45 minutes. And it goes until 6:30. We do have two other yellow polygons that are set to expire right about now. Now, I'll just go ahead and also continue my radar rant. There they go. They disappeared. We don't have the world's best radar coverage up in here. Now, I trust the Weather Service, and if they had any air of uncertainty that there was any ounce of possibility of severe weather in there, I suspect there'd be a warning. So the fact that they've let that warning drop, say, over Norwood, Albemarle, Troy, Wadesboro, probably means that the severe damaging threat has lessened. You still certainly have a thunderstorm coming your way. And that whole rant was to say, we can't really see what's going on there, so if you start getting damage in that area, be sure to let the Weather Service know. Now, we are again glued back towards the triangle. We have that big honking yellow severe thunderstorm warning. But it is the tornado warning that you're all here for. That's in yellow. The area of rotation and potential tornadoes now coming into Middlesex. Bailey, you're next, followed by Sims. You'll notice that when the Weather Service edged off the western backside of the tornado warning, which started closer to, but never thus including Raleigh. It included Knightdale originally. They've trimmed it up a little bit. They didn't actually change the end yet. It's just fairly typical. We'll know in the next 15 minutes whether or not this is going to get extended. But if it does, Rocky Mount, Sharpsburg, Elm City, Wilson. Go ahead and just have a plan. Know where you're going to go. This was baseball. You're on deck. Now you can see we got lots of lightning. We got reds and greens on the velocity on the right-hand side. It's that radar product we've been talking about with winds coming towards and away from the radar. It's coming into Middlesex. Left-hand side is rain intensity. You'll see a little notch. Little guy there trying. And so let's just go ahead and presume that there's a tornado moving through Middlesex until they tell us otherwise. We don't have confirmation that one is on the ground, but we've got atmospheric data from the radar that would indicate something might be going on. Brian is telling us he's got high wind, small debris, and heavy rain in Knightdale. So again, Brian is telling us he's got there in Knightdale high winds, small debris, and heavy rain. Lots of rain that came on through. That makes sense. Brian, if you're still with us, and you can comment in the comment box, what is small debris? Is that twigs? Is that shingles? Pieces of the roof? What might that be there in Knightdale? Lily's still with us as well on YouTube. Light rain. Hearing thunder. April, thank you for trying to help me. And Lily as well. Zebulon. Lily and April. Zebulon. Thank you. Apologies. I'm in Charlotte, Carolina Weather Group. We try to do this whole 2-state area, and we're certainly here with you, but I clearly don't have every town. Madison saying her sister's in Middlesex, watching the sky. Thank you for touching base there, Madison, with your sister. She knows what's going on. This threat right now is still over Middlesex. It's going to be moving into Bailey in the next few minutes. We don't have confirmation of anything on the ground, but we will be watching for the possibility of flying debris, either with the potential tornado or even just with the winds associated with this thunderstorm. You heard Brian talking about it in Knightdale. Watching for the updates now from the National Weather Service. See what all they might have to share with us as they continue to track this. If you are just joining us, this is the voice of James Brierton in Charlotte. You're watching streaming severe weather coverage from the Carolina Weather Group on our nonstop Carolina Weather Net. This is a tornado warning that, again, has been trimmed. So, Wendell, you're clear. Zebulon, you're clear. I think I got it that time, guys. Middlesex, Sims, Kenley, you're still in this. This tornado warning goes still until 6 o'clock? Yes, still until 6 o'clock. It is now for Nash, Wilson, and Johnston counties. Nash, Wilson, and Johnston counties. Wake, you're clear. If you're still watching this video and you're looking at the title of it and it's got Wake, or it's got Lee, or it's got Monroe, from earlier warnings, those have been updated. You're in the clear. Right now, the only tornado warning we have at 5:50 on this Saturday is for portions of Nash, Wilson, and Johnston counties. It's in red on your screen. This is the same location on both the left and the right-hand panel. Left side is rain, right side is wind. We can even do 4 if you're feeling it. And the bottom left is hail. Seeing less hail than we did before. That's good news. Right-hand side is correlation coefficient. Helps us see any potential damage. Let's stick with 2. And again, this is the area we're watching. Middlesex, Bailey, Sims. Tornado warning still has the same ending boundary right now. But, if the Weather Service were to extend it, and we've talked about this several times now, if they were to extend it, imagine it's going this way. So, Sharpsburg, Elm City, Wilson, be on standby until we tell you otherwise. And again, we're just kind of watching. Winds are going this way. Winds are going this way. Where they meet is where the funnel could be. And that be right between Middlesex and Bailey right now. Again, on another monitor, I'm glancing over. We're looking at Twitter. Hashtag NCWX. is the hashtag to be using if you're on the Twitter. It's okay if you're not. And this is National Weather Service out of Raleigh jurisdiction. Raleigh itself is not under the warning, but that is the jurisdiction of the National Weather Service that controls these weather warnings in these counties. Let's query the winds here. Right-hand side with me, if you will. 45, maybe 50 miles an hour. Radar indicated. We're still relatively close to the radar. We're actually at a pretty good place now where we are 500 feet above the ground, 20 miles away from the radar there, closer to Clanton. We're getting to the point where we can start to see again. Because when we were up in this area, we were just a little close. It was hard. It was hard to see. You'll hear us complain about being too close to radars, but more or less you'll hear us complain about being too far away from radars. That's generally the problem we have in the Carolinas. Because the only radar between... Let's see, we got a radar here in Raleigh. And that, in North Carolina, is the westernmost full-power radar. We have, I'll just call them low-power, terminal Doppler radars, located at the Raleigh Airport and the Charlotte Airport. Doesn't have the same power as a full-blown radar. The next westernmost full-blown radar is in upstate South Carolina. So if you're like me in Charlotte, it's a little hard to see sometimes. It's a little hard to see up on here. We got shows about that on our YouTube channel. I'll let you go there if you want to learn more about it, because I'm pretty sure right now you want me following this tornado warning. And, okay. All right, Bailey. Bailey, it's your turn now. We're looking right up on in here for the potential rotation. Or I should say the rotation, but the potential tornado. Coming out of Middlesex, heading into Bailey, into Sims next. And it's 5:54. So we will have to wait to see what the Weather Service decides to do and whether or not they're going to extend this. And I have again lost National Weather Service chat. Could be me. Could not be me. Weather Service chat has been under lots of strain, let's say, in the last 2 weeks. And if you are just joining us, we are watching one tornado warning right now in the Carolinas. That's what I was trying to pull up. This is the Storm Protection Center outlook for today. Much of North Carolina, they're in yellow. Slight risk. That's a tier 2 out of 5 for seeing severe weather. Marginal in green is 1 out of 5. And check out tomorrow. Fairly similar. Actually a little bit larger. Slight risk and even a little bit of an enhanced risk. And so we are in for a weekend with strong to severe afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Brian wants to know if there is a second wave coming on through. So there's a second wave definitely tomorrow. But I think you're probably asking more about what's behind you right now there in Knightdale. I have some good news. It's not severe. It's falling apart a little bit as it comes through Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs. You don't have any warnings right there. You still could get some rain, still could get some lightning, but Knightdale, there, Brian, things are winding down for you. As I said to you or somebody else before, I wouldn't go out for a bike ride right now, but you can come out of your tornado safe place in Knightdale. Again, this yellow box, everything from Clanton, Kenley, Smithfield, Southern Pines, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning for the potential of damaging winds. And this red box is the tornado warning. Bailey and Sims right now is where this potential tornado is. Brian also updating us. He's got shingles and rocks and some bricks that were moved about during the storm. Answering my question from earlier. Thank you, Brian, on what exactly was small debris. And so whether that was from a tornado or from thunderstorm winds, that is some decent reports there. Thank you for sharing that with us, Brian. So shingles, rocks, bricks, those are winds. What do you all think? 40 miles an hour or so at times to move some of those things? April's got a follow-up question for me. Between Littleton on the Harnett County side. Yeah, let's take a look. I think Brian's agreeing with me. 40, 45 mile per hour winds there. Thank you. You know, we just had a storm spotter training class last night, and they were teaching us how to estimate winds based on damage without actually measuring them. So I was trying to recall back some of that. Okay, Littleton is going to be a little bit farther south. I see it here. Okay, so let's talk about Littleton for just a second. Hopefully I've got the right one. I believe I do. Harnett County. So April was asking about Littleton. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. And so that means winds of 60 miles per hour, and the radar would tend to agree, about 55 right now coming through Littleton. You want to be inside. You want to be away from windows. Now, wind is wind, folks. Whether it is in a funnel in a circle or it's straight line blown out from a thunderstorm, it can still damage things. That's why even though we have severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, we tell you to head inside. The lightning has nothing to do with issuing a warning, but it is still deadly. So we got lots of lightning back out over here across Harnett County. Let's look real fast. Let me put this back in the 4-box. Bottom left, April, is hail. Yes. Some hail is being detected by radar. It is not the strongest hail core we've seen all day. I would say it is quite windy there right now, with the potential that, just like Brian saw, you know, it could be shingles or branches or maybe even some loose trees that are blown around in this right now, because that top right box is the radar estimated winds. And again, it is pushing into the 50s in some places. And, you know, that is definitely strong enough to cause wind damage. Luckily, it is moving now out of Lillington, and we do have a little bit back behind it, but right now the worst is moving out and closer to Dunn and Plainview and Linden. Now we're continuing to watch that tornado warning. I see Smithfield is on the screen. I'm pretty sure we have a camera in Smithfield from our friends at WeatherStem? Do we? I think we do, but it's a question of, do I have it in here? I may not have it in here. All right, it's not accessible to me at this location, but I think WeatherStem does have it. I was gonna take a look to see what might be going on there. Let's see. We're coming up on 6 o'clock, and the tornado warning has disappeared. That is typically a good sign, folks. Let me triple check everything, because computers are computers and they will do what they want, but I'm pretty sure this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. Got to check in again with the National Weather Service and make sure that is in fact what they intend to do. Yes, the National Weather Service has confirmed that they have allowed the tornado warning for Johnston, Nash, and Wilson counties to expire. As of right this moment, matter of fact, they haven't even replaced it with a severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, they're about to. They're about to. Here he comes. So the tornado warning, the tornadic threat, there are 0 right now across the Carolinas. We have this existing 75-mile wide severe thunderstorm warning that is about to get kind of an addendum onto it. It's going to be right up on in here where that tornado warning was for the potential of damaging winds. And certainly if we go back to that two panel, you can see, again, the brighter the color, the more intense the winds. So you can see some bright greens, some bright reds. And up here towards just outside of Wilson now, this is the remnants of where that rotation was. Middlesex, you're in the clear. Bailey, you're in the clear. And Sims, you're in the clear, because this is no longer considered to be tornadic. It is going to be replaced here graphically on the screen with a severe thunderstorm warning. This is Edgecombe, Nash, and Wilson counties until 6:45. The National Weather Service there saying that they no longer believe it is a tornadic threat so much as it continues to be a wind threat. And now you can see it on your screen. And it is south of Rocky Mount. It does include Wilson, Elm City, as far east as Fountain. But again, luckily, it is not believed to have a tornado threat associated with it. We're going to probably be taking a break here with live coverage in just a moment, but before we go, I want to show you an update on some of the weather reports that you all have been submitting to the National Weather Service, and the National Weather Service has been verifying. These are called local storm reports. You can phone them into the Weather Service, you can tweet them, you can email them, or they might come in from emergency managers and the like. Let's just start out here towards Raleigh. Again, the fact that you don't see any out towards Wilson right now, these do tend to lag behind the active warnings just slightly because they're going to issue warnings first and then do these secondary. But across Raleigh, you can see we had hail here, quarter-size hail north of Raleigh a little bit earlier. Also, we had some hail here. Oh, they refreshed on me, but April, if you're still with us, here's a hail report just west of Lillington, half-inch size there in Harnett County. And you can see the amount of hail we had earlier as well across the Triad, Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem, out towards Concord and Kannapolis, north of Charlotte. That looks like, is this Morganton? Yes, it is. And up in the mountains as well, too. And just to give you an idea of what this day has looked like, historically speaking, over the last few hours, these are all the warnings that we've had thus far. Yellow being severe thunderstorm warnings. The reds were tornado warnings. Again, that's historically across the day thus far, and you can just see more or less, right? So the Weather Service issues the warning, and then they compile the local storm reports, and they use these to verify what the threat actually was on the ground, because the warning is based on radar looking at the atmosphere, and these reports are you on the ground telling them what's happening, and you can see, look at this. This is great work by the Weather Service, folks. We don't have any storm reports that came outside of a warning. So they are putting warnings in the right places today, and that is what we love to see. April, thank you so much for tuning in with us here at the Carolina Weather Group and entrusting us with this information. Trevor, right now on YouTube, nasty hook echoes and velocity signatures developing with one of the storms in Tennessee. And, you know, I'll slide out there real fast, Trevor, but that sounds extremely plausible. We do have some tornado warnings now in the western part of the state. Yeah, I can see this is probably what you were looking at. But again, folks, remember, we have more severe weather that is moving in from our west. It's going to be here tomorrow. And even here across the Carolinas, luckily no tornado warnings right now, but we do still have this line now catching up with the Interstate 95 corridor. It extends across North Carolina, more or less stops currently when it gets to South Carolina. And it's going to be rolling out towards the shoreline in the next few hours. And so do stay weather aware today and tomorrow for additional severe weather that I'll be rolling on in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see... Check this out. So you see this guy right here? It's probably the sea breeze, outflow boundary. So if I were to put this into motion, I bet you this guy's going this way. This guy's going this way, which means that when they meet up somewhere in here, that'll be an atmospheric collision. Yes, you can see the storms are going that way, but you can see his wake, if you will, is going back that way. So we got to watch to see what happens when those storms meet up. And right now, luckily, no tornadoes here in the Carolinas. So here's what's going to happen. If you are watching on the Carolina Weather Net, which is on YouTube, in a few moments, you're going to go back to regular scheduled programming. You're going to be watching the Best of the Carolina Weather Group podcast, where we're going to be talking about all things weather in the Carolinas. You'll see live cameras, live weather conditions. We will be back if there are any other tornado warnings. If you are watching on Facebook or on Periscope, this feed is going to go dark, and you can always check out that Carolina Weather Net over on YouTube, and then we will pop back up on all of our social platforms here in the Carolina Weather Group, Facebook and Twitch and YouTube and Periscope, if there is additional tornadic activity to have to warn you about. But that is going to do it right now. I'm James Brierton in Charlotte. Thanks so much for checking out this live coverage from the Carolina Weather Group. We will be back, and hopefully you're checking out right now the Carolina Weather Net. Stand by. We'll take you back to regular scheduled programming.